Hi guys, I'm Erica of Erica's Joyful Oven, and today I'm so excited to share one of my favorite Indian sweets with you guys. Trini Gulab Jamoon is a fried almond-shaped milk-based dessert that is covered with crystallized sugar and spices. This Indian sweet is so delicious, so let's make some right now. To begin, in a large mixing bowl, add 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 1/4 cups of powdered milk, and we're going to give this a quick stir, making sure that it's well combined. Next, we'll add in 1 cup of room temperature unsalted butter, and we're going to mix this together until it's a fine cornmeal texture. So this step does take a minute or two, but it does give you the perfect texture, and as you can see, we've gotten a fine cornmeal texture. So next, we're ready to add in our spices. Add 1 1/4 teaspoon of ground elichie, 1 1/2 teaspoon of grated ginger, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Mix this together until it's well combined and the ginger is evenly distributed in the mixture. Once this is mixed well, it should come back to a fine cornmeal texture without any lumps. And next, we can set this aside and we're going to add in our liquids. I have 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of water in a small mixing bowl. To this, I'll add 1/2 cup of evaporated milk and 1/3 cup of condensed milk. Mix this together until the condensed milk has dissolved into the mixture, and we're going to add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Making a little well at the center of the dried ingredients, I'm going to pour in the milk mixture. Mix your ingredients together just until it's well combined. The dough is going to be a little bit moist and sticky, and that's okay. That's going to give you a gulab jamun that is going to be very soft and it's not going to dry out. You do want to avoid adding any extra flour at this point because this dough does need to set. So as it rests, it is going to take shape and give you the perfect gulab jamun. Here you can really see how the dough has taken shape as the powdered milk and flour have absorbed all of the liquid. With a little bit of ghee or butter on your hands, you want to moisten the surface of the dough just a little so it does not dry out as it's resting. Before we move on, I just want to show you guys the perfect texture of this dough because of the powdered milk and all of the butter that we've added in. We're going to set this dough aside for 20 to 30 minutes so that it can rest. And whenever it's resting, always keep it covered with a kitchen towel. After 30 minutes of resting, we're finally ready to prepare the gulab jamun shapes for frying. So I have a plate that I've lightly greased with some ghee, and I'm going to take just about 1 1/2 tablespoons of dough, and I'm shaping it into roughly an oblong almond shape. And I'm not pressing too hard to compact the dough together, but you do want to get the surface of the dough smooth so that as the gulab jamun is frying, it's not going to crack on the surface. I'm going to fry a batch of 12 at a time, which is just enough to fit in the pan without overcrowding it. This recipe is going to give you roughly 70 to 80 gulab jamun. So now that my first batch is ready to fry, I'll cover the remaining dough with a kitchen towel and let's head over to the stove. I've filled a heavy iron pot with 4 to 5 cups of vegetable oil. You want to give the gulab jamun enough space so that it can rise as it's frying. The oil is heated to just a medium temperature. You don't want the oil too hot or else the gulab jamun is going to brown too quickly and the inside is not going to cook properly. Adding just a piece of dough into the oil. If the oil starts bubbling but the dough does not turn brown too quickly, then your oil is just ready to fry the gulab jamun. Carefully lower the first batch into the hot oil and you want to immediately stir them so that they don't stick to the bottom of the pot. On a medium to low heat and stirring occasionally, these take just about 7 minutes until they turn a beautiful golden color and they are cooked all the way through. If they are browning too quickly, you definitely want to lower the heat and allow the oil to cool down. These are perfectly golden and they are going to get a little darker in color as they cool. Remove them from the oil and place them into a dried bowl. I'm going to finish fry the rest of my gulab jamun and then we're going to make the syrup. To make the syrup, in a light saucepan, add 1 1/4 cups of water, 2 1/2 cups of granulated sugar, 2 1/2 teaspoons of grated ginger, and 3 cardamom pods crushed to extract the flavor, or 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom. Bring this to a boil over a medium heat and it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes until it reaches a thick syrup consistency. When you begin to see a lot of white bubbles at the top of the syrup, you'll know that it's just about ready. So let me show you. If you lift a spoon with some syrup, the syrup should fall back very slowly, almost as if it's pulling back to the spoon. If you were to raise the spoon even higher, the syrup would almost seem to fall as a thread from the spoon, and that is the perfect consistency. Immediately and very carefully pour the hot syrup over the gulab jamun. Stir this together. It takes about 2 minutes for this sugar to completely dry, but as you stir, the sugar is going to dry and it's going to crystallize on the entire surface of the gulab jamun. And here's why the consistency of the syrup is so important. If the syrup does not reach that thread consistency, then it's not going to dry out as you stir. And if it crosses that thread consistency and the syrup dries too much, then it's going to crystallize without evenly coating the gulab jamun. After a minute of stirring, you can see the sugar has crystallized and the gulab jamun are all equally coated. Let me show you guys how perfect these are. They are crisp on the outside, but the inside is so light and they melt in your mouth. These are so perfect. They are delicious with the powder milk and the ginger and all of the spices, the cardamom. I know you guys would love this. You want to store them in an airtight container. They last for several days, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be eaten out before that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you guys tried this recipe and what you think. Invite your friends to like and subscribe to Erica's Joyful Oven on Facebook and YouTube. And check out my website joyfuloven.com for more amazing recipes. Until next time, bye guys.